Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Cars 3 diecast review. Today, here we have Demolition Derby Contender Pileup. So let's dive right into the review. I don't really have anything to say about this guy, like before we actually get into the review. So yeah, let's just start with the package. So you can see the generic usual Cars 3 logo, red and black, Pileup for the name tag. On the back here you can see a bunch of other awesome cars that unfortunately I don't have yet. Well, most of them I don't have. But Rusty's Lightning McQueen, I do have him from that big online 10-pack with the next gen Easy Idle Racer. I would have reviewed that today, or at least one of the new cars in the pack. But I want to space out the exciting stuff because I know, let's all be honest here, we're all a little burned out on Demolition Derby contenders. There were so many of them at one period that we're all just kind of like, yeah, I don't really care anymore. But I think Pileup's pretty cool, and we have to review them sometime or another. And my next review will probably be Rusty's McQueen or Easy Idle. Vote right there. I'm giving you guys an option today, so take advantage of that because usually I don't do that anymore. But anyway, the other cars here are Dirt Track Fabulous Hudson Hornet. I already reviewed him. And then you have the three next gens, Bubba Wheelhouse, Ryan Inside Laney, Chase Raceland, and of course another Demolition Derby contender, Patty. Blindsided by a new generation of piston cut racers, Lightning McQueen finds himself suddenly pushed out of the sport he loves. To get back on top, he will need the help of a young race technician, inspiration from the late Fabulous Hudson Hornet, and guidance from a few old friends along the way. So I believe this guy's in case L, maybe? I've really lost track of all the case letters just simply because there are so many nowadays. But fortunately, most of them do contain a lot of new cars. Like this one here contains all these. So that's pretty awesome because they're all new. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have them yet because I have not found these in a store, although they are showing up across the world. I think some people have been able to find this case at Target stores in the United States. I personally got it from a friend on Facebook who was willing to sell it to me for a great price, but I will leave his name anonymous because I don't know if he wants to be publicized. So I'll be right back with this awesome car opened up. So of course, Pileup was a contender at the Thunder Hollow Crazy Demolition Derby, which in my opinion was the most exciting scene of the movie, just because of all the action that was going on and all the different characters and potential releases. I found it really awesome, and Mattel has released pretty much every single Demolition Derby contender as a diecast except for Fair Game, but he is available as a Crazy Crasher. I do have him, might do a video on it, might not, but I'm sure they'll make him as a diecast in due time. And yeah, I don't even feel like it's necessary to avoid spoilers anymore because Cars 3 is out on DVD and it's been released in all countries. So if you haven't seen it, I don't know what you're doing watching this video because you're probably a Cars fan, and Cars 3 has been out for a while now. But I don't know, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's a great movie, although not as good as the first one. So, like I said, Pileup appeared at the DD. However, he didn't speak, just kind of a background character like most of the piston cut racers. And you actually do see him kind of driving like this, and it makes you think that's his front end, but he actually just has eyes painted on there, so it's pretty neat. And if I find any pictures of him, I will put them on the screen. Hopefully Disney Screen Caps adds Cars 3 to their whole website soon, because it's really convenient for grabbing screenshots from the movie and just putting them on your video. It really helps out. That's why I did for Cars 1 and Cars 2. And I think they do add it pretty quickly after the DVD release, because I saw that Finding Dory was added November 4th of last year, which is around the time it came out on DVD. So that's pretty awesome. Hopefully the same happens for Cars 3. So yeah, as for his releases, only so far as a single. He might be re-released in the future, but we just can't say for certainty right now. And by the way, I just wanted to show you guys my Fair Game because I think he's pretty cool. And I don't think many people have actually seen this in, I don't know, anywhere. So I did want to show you guys it. I got it on Walmart.com, free delivery and pickup at the store. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. It was only $6. I don't think they'll make him as a diecast for a decent amount of time. I did say due time, but I think that due time is sometime in 2018, which is too long for me to wait. So anyway, now let's dive into the review of him as a diecast. I think it's pretty funny just looking at him like that and how it like slopes up because he was like hit so hard so many times in the back here that this got like pounded up. Like, geez, I don't know what happened. He just got pounded after pound. So poor Pileup. Maybe he got like piled up on. Really have no idea. But I'm not like a huge fan of this guy because he doesn't have a distinct gimmick. Of course, the Two-Face is pretty much his gimmick, but usually like some other Demolition Derby cars have more prominent ones, like being a police car or the Pixar ball or being the patriotic one. But anyway, he has like this nice red paint job of flames in the front here that fade into green, so kind of like Christmas colors. I've heard him being compared to Christmas or holiday cruiser Ramon. Yeah, I can definitely see that. It's like they saw Ramon and they're like, yeah, I know what the paint job for Pileup's gonna be now. So basically the ribbons are the flames there and it all fades into green. Whoever came up with that, very clever. It wasn't me, so I don't know who it was though. But anyway, headlights are knocked out. It's all red there on the front. His mouth is closed. He has these like, what are they called? Exhaust pipes, smoke something. I don't know. I remember the name for them, or I used to know the name for them, but I haven't reviewed the Demolition Derby car in so long that I forgot. There's something with the exhaust to provide for a better flow of the smoke and everything. Oh, they're called heathers, I think. Heathers, right? But anyway, he does have an intake right there where the green coloring is a little bit different as well, so that's pretty cool. It is raised off the paint. He has a nice matte paint job, and it even feels rough, which is a nice effect for sure. Of course, black on the top of the heather, green on the bottom because he just sloppily painted it. I do like the rims. They're red for the most part with a very thin trim of green. I like it. And there's a lot of space between the fender, which is even rough itself, and the tires. He's number 11, and usually the numbers on the cars are just kind of like sloppily painted. Like, for example, 45 there, or the 86. It just kind of looks like someone manually did it. 13 there. But with Pileup, I don't know. That looks like it was printed on or stamped on. You can kind of even see if it was stamped on, like where the stamp like fully encompassed, because like this area here is slightly a different shade of green. You can see how like the red stops there at a perfect line. So maybe it was a stamp, but it definitely is neater than some of the numbers we've seen previously. He's all boarded up here on the back windows. You can see those metal, like, I don't know, covers. Then you have 11 there on the top. Another stamp, it looks like, although that part right there is a little sloppy. To me, it looks like he used a template or someone used it on him. You know those, like, sheets that people put on things? There's an opening for where you want the paint to be, and obviously it's not open for where you don't want the paint to be. So that would be like this area right here in between like all the rest of the roof and the red numbers. So you did not want that to be red. But when he was doing the spray paint, you know, of course you got the numbers right, but then there was like this oversplash on the outside of the template. So that's, in my opinion, what I think he used. And I think I'm pretty spot on. I do say so myself. So where he's all crunched up here, you can see a bunch of like scratches and dents, which is very realistic because, you know, obviously he got hit and just kind of really beat up. Poor guy, like I said. Wow. But he does still have a sense of humor because he painted on a really mean looking expression on his back here. It almost makes it seem like he's like two cars in one, which is super creepy. But anyway, big eyebrows, just really mean looking red eyes there as well, even though he has like a nice kind of stoic brown eye expression. His bumper there is red, which just makes it look like his mouth is closed and he's just like full of rage. So pretty funny there. And his base is just kind of interesting as well because of the fact that it's all pounded up. And there is the base if you're interested. Pretty sweet release, and both sides are pretty much the same. Alright, so let's move on to some comparisons. Of course, obviously a unique model, but I do want to compare him to some other like coupes from the Demolition Derby, like APB here. Maybe if Pileup wasn't pounded up like that, he would look more like APB, perhaps. Although it doesn't look like he ever had a back window because it would be there, but then again, it would be like smashed and it would kind of like just evaporate if he like really was like pounded up like that. Alright, let's move on to Cigalert, one of my personal favorites. And don't get me wrong, I do like Pileup because of this like unique expression in the back, but like if there was something else to him, like maybe something apparent on him that would relate to Pileup, which maybe that's a Pileup, I don't know. I just feel like, I think of Pileup like another car on top of him. So if he was like super flat, I'd think Pileup and he'd be one of my more favorites, I guess you can say. But he's definitely better than Broadside here, who is my absolute least favorite. He really just kind of makes me want to throw up every time I see him. Sorry, Broadside. Here you have T-Bone, and sorry for all those Broadside fans out there. I just really don't like him. But T-Bone's another awesome one in my opinion. Another coupe, of course. We have Taco here. I don't even know why I have the pickup trucks out. I don't know. I think before I opened them up, or like before I started the review, I thought he was a pickup truck. But after like further inspection, I was like, yeah, no, he's not. But I did not really take a close look at him when I initially got him. Here's Bill, of course, the Pixar ball guy, who's another one of my favorites from the DD. And lastly, we have a Jimbo, who's a pretty cool one as well, although he doesn't really have a gimmick now that I think of it. But I do just like his expression and overall design. And Miss Fritter, not really a comparison, but you gotta compare, or at least show every DD car with the queen of demolition, Miss Fritter. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and feel free to vote. Oh shoot. Like I have cars underneath my shelf here, like this table, there are cars underneath like it on either side, but there's an opening for my legs, but I like fold my legs sometimes, I like put it on top of my right knee, like you know sometimes people do that just to be more comfortable, and I accidentally hit some carded cars with the bottom of my shoe, which is definitely not a good idea. I should take off my shoes really. But anyway, that was very random. Yeah, feel free to vote on which car you want me to review next. I'll see you guys next time for another video. I've been trying to do as many videos as I can lately, but as you guys know, school really just hurts me during like, you know, school just hurts me. I can't do as many videos, and I hope you guys can understand that. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.